And away from the National Assembly, the federal government's message to the ongoing 53rd session of Unido Industrial Development Board holding in Vienna, Austria, is that Nigeria's industrial vision is no more in the pipeline. It's in motion. Minister of Industry, Senator John Onwa-Eno, says Unido should work with Nigeria, not just as advisors, but as partners in execution. This is, as he told the world, that Nigeria is shifting from plans to performance, from frameworks to factories, from declarations to delivery. And to this end, Nigeria is set to unveil a validated industrial policy that is vision-focused with an execution plan come July 31st, 2025. The minister seeks Unido's technical expertise in areas of policy-driven research and data systems, skills and knowledge transfer, in addition to digitized regulatory reform. Other areas of interest are inclusive industrial zones for women and youths, as well as global market readiness for local products.
Country of industrial potential to a country of industrial outcomes, we are committed to learning, to leading and leveraging global best practices on our own terms and for our own people.
You just heard the Minister of Industry, Senator John Onwa-Eno. He joins us now via Zoom. Honourable Minister, good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
All right, let's begin with the overall purpose of your visit. Now, this is your first participation at the Industrial Development Board after Nigeria's long absence. What is the significance of the nation's industrial aspirations?
Well, admittedly, it's for close to, the last several years, Nigeria hasn't actually participated at the ongoing Industrial Development Board meetings of United Nations Industrial Development, Organization. And I think that even for the sake of signaling and because of the kind of interest that Nigeria's present leadership, led by President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the signaling to the rest of the world is that Nigeria is not just paying lip service to industry, that Nigeria is, able and is ready to play leadership, to provide leadership, which is why attendance at these ongoing Industrial Development Board meetings has been very important. More so, first week of April of this year, the DG of Unido was in Nigeria to sign the PCP, the Program for Country Partnership. And so it's, Vienna, because the administrative instrument that gives teeth to this PCP, program that was signed, I'm going to co-sign tomorrow. And, so it's very important. It makes a statement about, Nigeria's, interests and the kind of important role that, industry is currently playing in this administration.
All right, fantastic, Honourable Minister. Now, the IDB plays a critical role in reviewing Unido's work and budgets. How does Nigeria's voice in this board influence global industrial policy to better serve our national interests, particularly under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration?
First, the Industrial Development Board, the membership is about 53 out of, the total, country membership of about 173. And Nigeria is a player amongst the 53. And, for the first time in about 4 decades, Nigeria is able to sign the Program for Country Partnership. And inside that partnership, the PCPs, the way it's structured to depend on every country's, local industrial aspirations. And those aspirations are taken into consideration. The meetings of the IDB are meetings that, they are policy meetings. They are meetings that are, intended to evaluate the performance of Unido and its programs in different countries and all of that. So Nigeria signing or being part of the PCP, the Program for Country Partnership, means that these meetings are also going to consider Nigeria's strategic interest in terms of, industrialization that is sustainable, and all of that. So having to have a voice in all of these. The total budget, for example, of the PCP, which has a 4-year tenure, is about $175 million. Nigeria has, makes a contribution of about 14.3%. The rest of it has to be mobilized, through coordinative efforts by Unido and by our country, through investments and other international funding organizations and all of that. So what it means is that as we continue to play this role and show our presence in most of these board meetings, Nigeria's voice and Nigeria's interest will continue to occupy center stage.
All right. At this point, I must say well done, Honorable Minister. We understand your visit has to do with the co-signing of the IDF Administrative Agreement arrangement, which you mentioned. Can you explain in simple terms what this IDF account means for Nigeria? How does it streamline the flow of funds for industrial projects across the country?
Basically, like I mentioned earlier on, that about the 2nd April of this year, the DG of Unido was in Nigeria to co-sign the Program for Country Partnership. Now, that is more or less a political, it's an agreement, a statement of intent, of purpose that commits, both countries to the fact that there are a series of programs that Unido, working with Nigeria, have to achieve. But all of these cannot take place without the administrative instrument that I'm going to co-sign with the DG of Unido tomorrow. So the co-signing of these now means that we are transiting from the policy, from the agreement, from the statements of visions and objectives that are captured in the PCP to actual implementation of what has been agreed. And the details of this don't mean that, the various structures, the various programs cannot begin to run. The various aspects of the administrative instrument would require things about the program governance, things about disbursement of funds. What it means is that whatever Nigeria contributes and whatever funds are now going to be mobilized are going to be in that IDF account. Without signing the administrative instrument, there will be no account that funds are going to be domiciled. What it also means is that all outstanding Unido projects with Nigeria, all outstanding sums that have not been expended are going to be transferred into their account for the funding of the various projects that have been agreed in the PCP.
All right, fantastic. Many thanks, Honorable Minister Senator John Owan Eno, for spending your time with us and for sharing some of your takes in Vienna. We wish you all the best in your other meetings and safe trip back to Nigeria.
Thank you so much, and God bless you. Thank you.
All right.